Hiya guys, check out my Junji Ito nails. If you want to see how I did them, keep watching. This is going to be part 1, which will be the Tommy A nail, and part 2 will follow shortly. Right, so let's get right into it. So this is all going to be line work. These are based on the Junji Ito comics, obviously. If you don't know what they are, definitely Google them. He's a Japanese manga artist and he does like loads of horror comics and stuff, and they're absolutely amazing and they will give you nightmares forever, so just you've been warned, you know what I mean. But yeah, so I'm doing this particular nail is going to be a character called Tomie, which is from one of the comics. So yeah, so I'm just going to basically, I've got a reference in front of me obviously, and I'm just going to start working, and it's all going to be line work, so I'm trying to keep it clean as I go, but I do have some white paint as well just to cover up any mistakes. So I'm just going to sort of block out the general shapes, start adding detail as I go. I think I've left in, but I actually took about 3 attempts at this nail. I don't know if I've left them all in the video because it were quite long. But yeah, so it took me a few goes anyway. I think this is the final attempt. I'd taken out the edit because it's quite a wide design, this particular image, and obviously the nail's tall rather than wide. It could have done with being horizontal, really. But yeah. So yeah, so I'm just going through and adding the details. She's basically got 2 faces in this particular image, and one's sort of like ripping out of the other one. So the image on the left, the face on the left is the one that's like the monster face that's ripping out of her normal beautiful face. So that's what I'm trying to get down. And the eye in between is like both faces' eye, so they're like share an eye, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I'm just blocking it in and going through that. So I'm going to let you watch for a little bit and I'll come back when there's some relevant information to share. I've discussed the technique that I use for like doing lines and then blocking them back out on several videos, so if you want to see any of that you can do. You can go back and look at my other videos. I do mess about with this quite a bit because I wanted to get it absolutely perfect, and this one will give me a lot of trouble. So the rest of the set took about the same time as this one nail, so yeah, but I'll come back in a minute when I've got some relevant information to share. I'll just let you watch. Now the fingers give me a lot of trouble on this set because they are quite small, and this was quite a while ago, this set now, it was a few weeks, and I've been doing a lot of practice since, and I've kind of nailed my technique down a bit better, but at the time I'd not worked out how to use my brush to get a really fine line, so you can kind of ignore my technique a little bit on this particular set. But yeah, so, and I'm just trying to get the hair between her fingers, but I wasn't really happy with how that turned out. It didn't look like it did on the image, but there's only so much you can do at this scale, you know. Obviously you've got to bear in mind that the original artist is doing this on an A4 or A3 piece of, you know, paper with all like you know, either in digital paint or, you know, with fine liners and stuff, not with a brush, because, you know, that would be ridiculous. Why would anybody do that? It's just me. So yeah, so you've always got to give yourself a bit of a break if you're struggling. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not that you're not good at what you do, it's that what you're doing is incredibly difficult. So I always just try and keep some patience and let myself off a little bit if I'm struggling, and just keep going until I get it. Yeah, I'm just re-blocking in the fingers there to try and chunk them out. Like I said, the technique that I'm using here, I'm kind of laying my brush down as if I were doing a line. But what I should have done really is use the load my brush up evenly and then use the very tip to get a really fine line. You will see that coming up in later videos because I've got 6 weeks of videos scheduled now, and I've got some more, like I've got the ones where I improve my technique, if that makes sense. So, you know, if you want to see any of that, just make sure you subscribe and follow on with the channel, because there will be some improvements made to my technique in the upcoming videos. Just making sure that I get a cheek right, because I don't know, I just felt it didn't look quite right compared to the image, so I just keep reblocking that cheek quite a few times. I was pretty happy with most of the image, it's just that one side. Obviously bear in mind you're working on a curved surface as well, so that's another element that you've got to kind of give yourself a break for, because, you know, no artist in the right mind would design something on a surface like this, because it's ridiculous, you know, so just give yourself a break. And if you want to try any of this stuff, you know, like try some line work and that, it's really cheap to get started. You literally only need a bit of gel polish for your base and a top coat, you know, so you can encapsulate it, and some acrylic paint. It's cheap as chips. I am going to try and get some gel paints shortly, because I've never tried them, but I've been watching a lot of oil painting videos, and I think it would actually work a little bit more like oil paint, you know, so you can get a really good blend, because I want to get that, like, I want to do some live looking pieces, you know, like realistic, but I want that sort of Renaissance kind of glow, you know, to the skin. So I think that would be good. So yeah, so I'm gonna try some gel paints soon. I think gel paints would be really good for this sort of stuff as well, because acrylic can dry out a bit on your brush. You've got to constantly be wetting it up, which is a bit annoying. Like, you'll be halfway through a line and your paint's dried and you're like, oh. It'd be nice to just do a whole line all in one go. This is why you'll notice, like, obviously this is sped up, but you'll see that all my lines are like no more than 4 mils long, and then just constantly go back in my paint and grab some more. I think I will do an actual live, not live like on YouTube, but, you know, presented live kind of acrylic paint tutorial with my sort of newfound skills. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll try and get one filmed, because there's a lot of things you've got to worry about with acrylic, which I think gel would probably be easier, but obviously more expensive. So yeah, so if anybody wants to know how to use acrylic paint on nails and have like a really in-depth tutorial on what to do when you're loading your brush and how to, you know, use each part of your brush to do different effects and stuff, let me know. But yeah, I'm just increasing the shading and stuff. I'm going to start doing a little bit of cross-hatching soon. I think that's mostly on some of the other nails, but I think there is a little bit on here just to add some sort of like shading and stuff, and I'll start adding some of the scarring and things around her face. But yeah, as you can see, these fingers were giving me some major problems. I've like gone over them about 8 times. I still wasn't happy with them when I was done. Like I said, this new technique that I've got now of just using the very tip of my brush, I think I could have probably done it. It was just a bit awkward without that technique. I didn't have that knowledge, you know. But who watching has actually seen any Junji Ito, you know, actually aware of it or own any? I'd love to know what sort of demographics watching this video, whether it's just nail artists or whether it's Junji Ito fans. So let me know please, I'd love that. These were actually done in August as well, but I am so hyped for Halloween, it's not even funny. Like these were technically summer nails. I think I might do a Halloween set but reverse the colours. Do the nails in black and do the line work in white. I think it'd be really creepy. I think it'd look cool. I might treat myself to them. Because I always end up having janky nails while I'm doing all these great nail arts, like these rubbish green things that I've got on. I've worked out a way now where I can make my nail and then I can take it off to paint it. So I'm going to start wearing beautiful sets now. Because there's no point having a beautiful set on one hand, is there? Getting tiny dots for the eyeballs is a pain as well. I've worked that out as well since. So this is like not even top of my game, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just adding all the details around the eye, trying to like get that effect of it blending, and so you're not sure which eye it is, whether it's the one on the left's face, the left face's eye, or the right face's eye. But yeah, so that's part one. Stick around for part two. Part two will be coming at the end of the week. And if you liked it, please subscribe. Thank you.